A potential player may see these graphics and decide not to try the game out. I love them, but they are pretty outdated. But what if that same player saw these graphics instead? A version of old school RuneScape that looks like a modern game but has the same mechanics played on the same servers. It could compete with other modern MMOs for new players. Hadi's vision is to provide, with ideally support from Jagex, multiple different ways of seeing RuneScape. Whether that's just 2007 graphics and smooth HD, or a look that represents more of the 2010 style, or even the modern MMO look like what you see here, the point is to supply different experiences that satisfy everyone, all on the same servers with the same old school mechanics. That's basically where my last video on this new graphics project left off, and the response to that video was fantastic. Thank you guys for all the comments, likes, and support. So let's get into the progress that's been made since then. One of the key points in that video that I couldn't showcase yet is that part of the project is to just enhance the vanilla version of the game, and this is that. As you can see, the graphics are just a lot crisper, but no textures or anything like that has been changed, and the render distance is absolutely insane. I'm on top of Lumbridge Castle, and I can see all the way into Al-Kharid. Let's zoom out here, and the view is absolutely insane. These are old school graphics just in the really powerful game engine Unity. Leave a like and tell me what you think in the comments. We're going to be going over this version of the client and also the Ultra graphics version of the client. I just hopped on the Ultra version of this client, and there are a bunch of really epic mods I need to show you, but let's just look at the graphics real quick. Textures like grasses have changed, water looks a lot nicer, and the render distance is still super far. You can see there are clouds in the sky and the sun is shining really bright. Let's look at some of these mods though. So if I hit Shift Escape, it brings up a menu that has weather, time of day, and a couple other things. Let's start off with weather. I'm gonna change the weather to rainy. So you can see there's now a bloom effect on the lava. There's sound effects of rain if you want. Obviously, it's raining in game. The dirt has a shine texture to it too, so it actually looks a little wet. PKing in the wilderness or deadman mode in the rain would get so spooky. The next weather setting goes from rainy to storm, and now you have wind, thunder, and lightning, and you can actually hear the thunder and lightning go off as well. I never thought I'd hear thunder in RuneScape, but there you go. Very spooky. Before we get to the rest of the settings, a quick message from the sponsor of today's video. Thanks to Filmora for sponsoring today's video. If you want to make your RuneScape clips look professional, check out Filmora. It's the most user-friendly editing software I've seen and is perfect for beginners. It's extremely simple to crop and zoom and add background music. This is the perfect editing software for new YouTubers. I've also been playing COD Warzone and wanted to try out editing a clip. I got an epic snipe in Warzone, and it was super easy to cut up the clip and watch it back in slow motion. Even though it's for beginners, there are tons of features to use, so check out Filmora. The link is in the description. Now the next weather setting is a snowstorm. The audio on this is mainly the wind blowing, and it's very, very hard to see. We're back in a clear day. Let's change the time of day. So we're in the afternoon, and if we change to sunset here, wow. That looks absolutely amazing. There are just so many things possible when you convert RuneScape into the Unity client. I can't believe this is old school RuneScape. Now there's another lighting setting, and it's pretty epic here. If we go into midnight, you can still see in the game. And there are bloom effects now on anything that can light up, so that includes certain items, and we'll show that later in the video. Now I can obviously still see everything in game because there wouldn't be any point if everything was pitch black. Someone make a nighttime only wilderness locked Iron Man ASAP. So those are all the specific mods in the Ultra client. Tell me in the comments what your favorite one is. This is what the same spot looks like on the enhanced vanilla client. Here's Bounty Hunter in HD. Now the render distance obviously doesn't allow you to cheat to see players outside of the normal zone, but it is pretty cool to be able to watch everyone fight. PKing looks so different in this lighting and grass. Let's actually change some of the weather settings in the wilderness on the Bounty Hunter world. Sunset PKing definitely looks interesting. And now this is one of the things I wanted to feature because again, you can still see quite a bit at night, and look at that bloom on that AGS spec if you guys caught that. But especially the fire capes and the Inferno capes look absolutely amazing. Certain items also have cool lighting effects, like the Necklace of Anguish and the blowpipe here. The halos glow as well. I mean, obviously you probably wouldn't PK a lot like this, but it is still really interesting to see. Look at that AGS spec. It's an absolutely brutal day in the wilderness today. Oh my god, this looks so epic. Think of like a clan match in this kind of weather? Well, it's sunset here in Edgeville, and I'm going to PK. Not only is it sunset, it's gonna be raining. He hit a 0, otherwise I'd be smited. That would have been epic, but obviously it did not work out for me. I think I'm gonna get out of here, actually. All right, he's got a fire cape and a dragon scimitar, and boy, does he look nice in HD, I gotta say. Usually you're not supposed to compliment your opponent, but damn. Oh, come on, that was a huge chance. I want to get my strength up on my high level pure, so let's go check out the Elder Chaos Druids in HD. So this is what it looks like in the rain. Let's start training here. As you can see, there's bloom on the chain mace as well. The rock looks wet. And in general, I mostly just hope that there are no PKers around. And at sunset, all the dead tree branches make it so the light comes in all speckled. It really seems like I'm in some sort of haunted forest at night. And this is where it actually gets really creepy, when it's nighttime. Like a PKer could actually come hunt me while I'm in night mode. I'm actually in love. This changes the whole atmosphere of the game. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering if Jagex will actually allow for a client like this. There isn't too much news on that front, but Toddy, the creator of this client, has been in contact with Jagex, and they've briefly discussed possibilities. Toddy says it went positively, but there are no guarantees at this moment. All the scrubs staking at the Sand Casino look pretty good. Sometimes I like to come watch the stakers over here with my chain mace dangling out, you know, little flex. Don't mind me. Quite a bit of staking going on. Look at all the chats, that's wild. There are so many of them. Now we're here near the fight caves, and if I zoom all the way out, you can actually see the entrance to the Inferno, and you can see the entire dungeon area here. It's pretty ridiculous. It is a very different feel to old school RuneScape, but the mechanics are still exactly the same. We're here at Wintertod, and the winter landscape looks really nice. And here's the effect at night. There's the moon, and let's get right into the mini game here. Toddy also does have plans to add helpful plugins like other third-party clients have, so overlays and stuff like that, so that you don't lose too much efficiency when you're playing on this client. You can definitely use the different weather and lighting settings to make some activities much more immersive. For me personally, the snowstorm and nighttime effect at Wintertod makes the minigame look really, really interesting, and nobody around me is affected by me using the graphical mods. You could also keep your client light but add the snow mod if that works better for you. The point is, each of you can make your game look and feel however you want, and it doesn't really affect other players around you. Except of course, if a client like this attracts a lot more players, even the people who aren't interested in any different graphics at all would be positively benefited. I want to also say that this is definitely not a finished product. There are still so many small things to do that'll greatly affect the quality of this client. For example, when you're playing at midnight, Toddy could add specific lighting into certain areas and buildings so that whole cities are lit up by the lights you can see in game. So then, for example, the wilderness would be dark, but if you're fletching in Varrock, it would still be lit by candlelight and lamps. Let's check out what some specific areas look like from far above. This is Seer's Village, and there's the Ranging Guild actually. This is what Relica looks like from way up high. I haven't been to the rock crabs in so long. Someone's actually training here. Man, I look absolutely tiny with the render distance all the way out. Look at that. Now, maybe you'll notice a couple things. One being, there's never any loading please wait in the upper left-hand corner. That will never happen in this client. Hopefully there are no PKers out. The Deadman mode tournament's going on right now, and there is a lava dragon. This is basically just a pretty enhanced perspective on the regular client you already know. And again, things just look a little bit crisper. I don't know about you guys, but I've never really seen Varrock from this perspective. This is pretty cool. I haven't talked about it up until this point, but there is still a first-person option in this client. I'm pretty sure that RuneScape VR would be one of the most epic games of all time. Although I'm sure your arm would get pretty tired for 99 wood cutting. We're over by the Ents now, and if you're wondering, this is what it's like to run around RuneScape during sunset in the wilderness in first person. There is absolutely so much potential for this game, it's ridiculous. I will say first person is by far the least priority for any client or Jagex because it would take considerable amounts of work to change the game. So this is just messing around, but it's still really cool. In terms of a release date, Toddy is planning on releasing the client to a very small group of people to make sure there aren't any bot client false positives, aka to make sure that nobody gets falsely banned for botting because they're using this client. But after he talks to Jagex a little bit more, a release date will be announced. You can find announcements on osremastered.com as well as a link to their Discord. I will make sure to put that in the description. Toddy is obviously very creative and talented. I want to hear from you guys in the comments what your opinions are, but also what you could see yourself using this client for. Also, what sort of tweaks like the city lighting at night would you guys like to see? I'm sure with hundreds of thousands of you, we could come up with some really epic things. If you want to keep up to date with this project's progress, I'll also link the client's landing page that takes you to its Discord. There are over 2,000 members of the Discord, and Toddy posts periodic progress updates.